going on, Bloomington Normal? Hope you guys are all having a good day. Hope you guys are all doing well mentally. Hope you are doing well emotionally. Hope you're doing well spiritually and also physically. You are listening to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man, and welcome to tuning in to my show, Cancel This. And boy, oh boy, are they trying to. They are trying to come after me and cancel me, folks. Why would you try to come and cancel a show that's called Cancel This? Why would you try to come and cancel a show that's daring you to come and do the very thing of what this show is called? They are ticked off at me, ladies and gentlemen. White people, black people, all are ticked off at me because I made a statement that seemed to be really, I guess, profound that people never heard before. I was interviewed by Martha McCollum of Fox News, and I ended the show saying slavery initially never was about race. And I stand by that 100%. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, you can only imagine the onslaught that I got. The onslaught of comments that came in on the Fox News comment section on my Instagram. People discovered me on Instagram. They discovered me on YouTube. I mean, some people just use it as to get themselves some clout. Some of these YouTube channels played the video that was on Fox News, and they used that, and they actually show people videos on my channel, and all the thing is, they were trying to say I'm trying to do this thing for clout, yada yada peanut butter. It does not matter, folks. It does not matter what anybody is saying about me. Here's one thing you gotta understand about Ty Smith. When I lock on and hone in to something that is truth, I speak for everybody. You want to know why? Truth does not care what color you are. It doesn't. Do I need to say that again slowly? Truth does not care what color you are. 2 + 2 is 4. And that is not a racist thing. It's just a truth thing. Okay? When you get cut and bleed, the color that everybody decide that comes out of you, that hemoglobin, that is called the color red, right? It does not have no racist context or any type of encouraging racist thing behind it. It just is. When I made the statement and said slavery was never about race initially, that's exactly what I meant. So, understand this to the listeners, because I need to let you guys all know this. You have to understand this. You cannot be afraid to speak truth because you are afraid of what people are going to say about you. I don't know if it's a gift. I don't know. It's something I feel that has been worked. I am at a point in my life, and it's been like this for a very long time. I do not care what people think about me. I don't. I live my life, number 1, for God. I live my life, number 2, to take care of my family. And number 3, it's me. 4, it's to get the truth out, and I care for other individuals because I want the best for everybody in their lives. I'm not going to withhold any sort of truth from anyone based on being fearful of what type of backlash I may face from my community, from black people, from white people. I am for all people. Now that we got that out the way, I can give you why people backlashed and they became defensive and they were all trying to snap off on me. It's really easy because I was once there. When you are indoctrinated so deep into something and you've been told a specific thing all your life and you begin to think a specific way all your life, when someone comes along and says something different or it challenges your ideology or the way that you were trained and taught to think, you instantly respond by becoming defensive. When you become defensive, you instantly want to defend yourself and you feel that you're being attacked. So therefore you go on the attack. But the person that delivered you the truth is not attacking you. When the truth is being revealed to you, that is not an attack. That is an attempt to get you to see something that's been hidden from you. And that's what the truth is. Because on the other side of truth, lies. Do you snap off and go off on the mailman who delivered you a bill saying this is your final notice And if you don't take care of this bill, your power's about to come off. Do you sit there and get mad at the deliverer of a message that sent you the mail that said, this is your final notice, you've missed 6 car payments. The next one that gets missed, we're going to come and repossess your vehicle. Do you get mad at the person that's delivering the message? The person that's delivering the message is not the reason why you are in the condition that you are in. Ask yourself, why are you in the condition that you are in? And that's the reason why when people started to come at me, I mean, I've had family, y'all, I have family call in. I have family, just men from all over the place. Family calling from Chicago, family calling from everywhere. Concerned. Like, man, you see what they saying about you? And it even got the attention of famous comedian D.L. Hughley, ladies and gentlemen. It got the attention of him. I called the show and everything. We're not going to go into details on all that. I'm just leave it as it is right now. We're going to see if things that, after the phone call, whatever, we're going to see if things unfolded or whatever, or if I'm going to be contacted. We'll see. But anyway, we're just going to leave it at that. But what I was saying, this whole deal of don't get upset at somebody that's bringing the truth of a condition that you are in. I understand it, and I'm going to stand by it. I know it's just going to trip people up. Slavery was not about race initially. It was not. Slavery was about power, was about control, was about money. And still to this day, slavery is about power, it's about control, it's about money. But the difference is that's going on right now. Y'all got to understand this. You have to understand this. Listen to me. The same system, the same people that were at play, the same type of ideology that was at play that enslaved Slavs, that enslaved Chinese people, that enslaved Indian people, Islamic people, European people, Africans that were being enslaved by their own ethnicity, by their own race. That same type of power is still trying to do the same exact thing to every last one of us today. Do not be fooled, America. You're listening to Cities 92.9. My show Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at 309-807-1600. And I just thought the phone was going to be ringing off the hook. Cause I mean, I actually screenshotted at least 60 screenshots of saying these things about me, and I just simply wrote them back saying, I want you to enlighten me on how ignorant or how much of a coon I am, how much of an Uncle Tom I am, how much of a tap dancer I am by calling the show. I gave them the phone number. I have a screenshot it. Call the show. See, folks, this one thing you guys understand. I tell people in life, it was extremely hard for me to be it's just extremely hard for me to be bullied. I just didn't have that mindset. I tell people right now, they say people are crazy. My wife always say that, Tylen, people are just crazy. I said, well, then that'll make 2 of us. Because I know I'm crazy when it comes to actually defending my family and defending truth and righteousness. Yeah, I'll stand for it. I'll fight for it. My point is saying all that, if I couldn't be bullied physically, then I definitely cannot be bullied by some words on a screen that people are hiding behind. Ladies and gentlemen, people will talk crap and talk stuff all day long on the internet behind those profile pictures, behind those little circular dots on there. They'll do it all day long. So I'm not going to waste my time going on there to see what people are saying about me. I can only imagine what they're saying about me. I have family members calling me. I have friends concerned about what people online were telling me. And I let them know, you don't know who that is behind those words. Just because there is a black picture profile up there, that does not mean the person that's saying those words are black. For all I know, that can be somebody that's 10 years old, 9 years old. Some of the stuff was dumb. They just, you're stupid. You're a raccoon. You a coon. I mean, I'm just thinking like these are some kids behind the screen saying these things about me. Look at him. Fox News and paid him off. How much Fox News is paying you? He done sold his soul. He done done all these things. And I'm politely saying, thanks for saying what you said, but please do me a favor. Show me how ignorant I am. Show me how misinformed I am. Show me how I'm being paid by Fox News. All those things that everybody is saying about me that they are so sure about. Please call up to the show at 309-451-9299 and enlighten me on how ignorant I am. Enlighten me on how I'm tap dancing. Enlighten me on how I'm a porch N-word. Enlighten me on how I'm a house Negro. Enlighten me on all those things. Please educate me, because obviously I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what it is. It's easy to jump behind that and just say the things that you're saying because you were so indoctrinated in how you were told to think about what slavery was that you have nothing intellectually to say to rebuttal what I said, except for throwing words out like what you did. It's easy, and I understand it because I was once there. I was once you. And that's why I told a lot of my subscribers, I told a lot of my family, a lot of my friends, do not engage with these folks. Don't engage with those people behind those words, because they may not be people at all. They may just be people that just hiding behind those words just to say the things that they're saying, just to throw some shade. Right? So look, if you're going to call up here to this show today, and you want to talk to me, you are going to talk civil. We're going to talk about this because this is something that America needs to do. Do I feel America needs to have a lot of reformation going on? Absolutely. I feel that a lot of things need to be completely reformed. Our history needs to be reformed. It needs to be taught in a way to where it's not leaning left, it's not leaning right. Just tell the story of America and leave it at that. When it comes to telling the story of America, let me tell you something. I know that 90% or more of the people that, as soon as I say slavery, their minds instantly goes to white man bad, black people getting beat. It goes beyond that, ladies and gentlemen. Slavery is not just unique to America. It's not. And I don't hate to break it to you. That's a figure of speech. I don't hate to break it to you. Slavery is not unique to America. Slavery didn't start in America. But if you say anything about slavery to most Americans, especially black and a lot of white, when you say slavery, they instantly go to that mindset of white people doing black people wrong. Folks, we're ready to take a break here. More to show when we come back next. I'm Ty Smith. You're listening to Cancel This. What's going on, Bloomington Normal? Hope you guys are having a good day. We are back. I am Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man, and you listen to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600. And before we took the break, you guys kind of heard the little spill that I was giving right there, and we have someone that called in, and we're going to go in on this call. You're on Cities 92.9. This is Ty. Hello?
Hello?
This is Ty.
Todd, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Just barely, but I can deal with it. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you really well.
That's good. Hey, I love your show, and I want to tell you, I'm going to help enlighten you a little bit. Back when you were younger, I don't know how old you are, you had probably people come up to you and said, this is the way you have to think. And they base that on your looks or on your education or where you were raised. Am I right about that?
Yes, sir.
And I was the same way. But the thing of it was, I was a little different. I was raised in the 50s, and we had a lot of very nice black people back then. They were called colored people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, I'm mixed race. But anyway, they were wonderful people. And something happened. Something happened later on that those people then did not like anybody anymore.
What people?
And some of them stayed nice, but some of them got hateful.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, when you say that they became hateful, I want to know who it is specifically you're talking about.
This would be some of those that were in the media all the time.
Okay.
As a general rule, the people that you met on the street were still the same folks, but the ones that were in the media, they were out there trying to get everybody stirred up, trying to get everybody to hate one another.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if you saw that, but I sure did, and I said, why are they doing this? We still got to drive trucks together. We still got to work in the lunchroom together. We still have our children play on the playground together. Why are these people doing this? And I believe it's because they really hate this country, and they hate the fact that this is a country where men can be judged on their character instead of the color of their skin.
That is so true.
I don't know. But I love your show, and I love you, and I hope the world you are very successful in what you're doing, because you got a great message out there.
Well, sir, I really appreciate you calling in. I appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate the support, and I hope and pray that you continue to do what you do too as well. I don't know if you have any grandchildren or great nieces, nephews, whatever.
Oh, I got grandchildren, you betcha.
Yeah, and I hope you're able to actually tell them these same exact stories so they won't feed into this poison that's trying to be put into us in America.
And I think so far they've been pretty good kids. Yep.
Good. Glad to hear that.
It's a fight.
Oh yeah, it's a fight
because the school system is trying to tear it down.
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
I just can't believe it's the same country.
Yeah.
40 years ago, I'd never thought that this would happen, but it's happening now.
Man, I thank you for that, sir. I really appreciate you calling in. Hopefully we hear from you again, and have a good rest of your day, and God continue to bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. You have a fine day, too.
Will do. See, ladies and gentlemen, it's things like that. And this man said that he was mixed race. So already, I can already tell you from things that was flowing in that people are automatically going to start saying, well, of course he can say that. He's white. Well, he just completely just blew that out the water, didn't he? They were going to say that. And that's what I've been getting a whole lot is that everybody is jumping on board saying, look who's all supporting Ty. They're all the white people. Only white people are supporting them. Are they not seeing the other black folks on there? Well, they don't matter because they just like you. Oh my goodness. There is no winning in this. It is winning in it, but this is what happens when you actually know that you're getting to people. This is what happens when you know that you actually coming at people and you bring the truth to them. When people have nothing to actually bring me some facts, bring me some statistics. Don't sit there and say, yes, it was. You just stupid. You just see. That's what I'm saying. If all you got to offer me is calling me names, is, just calling me a sellout, if that's all you got to offer, then there's no conversation here. A lot of these people, I actually told them, black folks, I'm talking to black folks. Yes, I'm just calling it like it is. Black people that was bashing me. I simply said, call in on the radio show. I'm not calling up there to talk to you. Wait, I thought that this is the issue that we were all having. When America needs to have a serious talk. I can tell you what really needs to happen, but folks, it's a hard pill to swallow. Black people need to talk with black people. Black people need to sit there and tell black people the real truth of what's plaguing black people for real, and it has nothing to do with racism at all. Anytime, listen real carefully, America, anytime you bring truth, especially if the issue is going to be about you, then expect it to be met with instant defense and attacks. Giving black people an excuse for why we are in the condition that we are, instead of giving us the truth to why we are in the condition that we are, will keep us in that condition. Do I need to say that slowly? Because I know I talk fast. Giving black people an excuse for why we are in the condition that we are in currently, instead of giving black people the truth for why we are in the condition that we were in, it will keep you in that condition. Yeah, think on that. Because that's all we are being given. Look here, listen up. Because I hope people are really getting this message. I completely understand what black people went through in America. I completely understand what my ancestors went through. The beatings, the murders, the sodomy, being raped in front of your husband, being raped in front of your children. And y'all didn't know this, men being sodomized in front of their own sons. So they can have this mental effect on the young black children that you're going to be dominated. I completely understand what black people went through. Am I trying to divert from that? Absolutely not. But at the same time, can we please start telling the truth about great things that black people were doing during those times as well? I mean, black people, is that all we did? Black America that's listening right now, is that all we ever were doing during the slave time? Is that all we were doing? We're being beat, being raped, being slaughtered, being sold. Is that all we were ever doing? I can tell you this, absolutely not. We were still doing great things during those times of slavery that I don't know why is being withheld from us. I do know why it's being withheld from us, because guess what? The good book says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And guess what? Our forefathers, they end up discovering the truth, and that's why they went on the path to setting slaves free. This is the part of history that you're not going to hear out of your school systems. Then you have to ask yourself, why is school system withholding that information from you? Why is the school system withholding that we have people that are black that did amazing things during slavery? Why is that being withheld from us? Why is the focus when it comes to talking about slavery is only about slaves being beat, being raped? What about slaves that actually influenced our forefathers, the indentured servants that actually end up playing their part out? They did their service and then end up being free and end up serving in all type of political positions. But they don't tell us about that. Why are they keeping that information from us? Talk about that. They're not going to do it. Why? Because the focus is to keep us as being these old downtrodden ever victims. Can't get ahead because look what they done to us, and that's why we're in the condition that we're in. Folks, we're getting ready to take another commercial break here. More of the show when we come back. I'm Ty Smith. This is Cancel This on the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. Smith, and you listen to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600, and you can tune in live at Instagram on my show called Modern Renaissance Man. That's M0, then spell out Darn Renaissance Man. And you can tune in right now. We are live right now on Instagram, folks. So before we took the break, I was going in on how a lot of times I know how people can get upset when a certain truth is brought to them, and because they were taught to think a certain type of way, they instantly become defensive because they never heard it that way. You know, they instantly become defensive, then they want to go on the attack, want to call you names and all that because of this new truth that you just brought to them. Now, what I do know is that there are a lot of people out there, they're definitely, you know, they are black. I mean, I got like maybe over 300 some different emails that people emailed me, and they were saying things like, man, you know what? I never heard that. I can't say that I agree with you yet. And the only reason why I don't agree with you yet is because I don't know that yet. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I just don't know that yet. So what they did, they went back and they actually went and seen what I was talking about. And they came back and was like, bro, why aren't they teaching that in school? Why are we only being taught that when it comes to slavery, that black people only did certain things? Like we were only known for being beat. We were only known for being raped. We were only known for being just working for free. We were only known for, you know, getting stuff stole from us, whatever like that. We were only known for having our children sold from us. I mean, why is that the only thing they want to talk to us about slavery? Because guess what? If you could start the connotation, or if you could start the context off with being nothing more than negative, then what exactly type of feelings do you think that's going to convey in black people? Who won't be completely pissed off if all you know and hear about what happened to black people is beating, raped, beatings, raped, sold, raped, beating, raped. If that's all you hear about that's what happened to black people, who gonna come out of this thing going, I feel just so enlightened now. I feel so much better about myself. Who's gonna come out of a conversation like that? And why is it that they only want to focus on, like right now, since everybody want to be so, oh, we really need to give black people a voice, then why do we only have to be relegated to 1 month in history? Huh? Why is it only February that they want to sit there and relegate us to history? Why February? Why not all year? What do you mean Black History Month? Why can't it just be history period? Right? So this is what I'm saying. People get so ticked off and mad because of what I said the other day when I sat there and said slavery initially was not about race, and it was not. 20 to 40% of indigenous people here in America were enslaved by other indigenous people. Did y'all know that? If you want that in layman's terms, Indians or Native Americans were enslaving other Native Americans. You really think that when Christopher Columbus or whoever it is that came over to America, the Pilgrims, when they got over here, that the Indians then were all just these people that were just living in harmony? Nobody fought, nobody warred, everybody was just living in harmony. The Blackfoots, you know, the Cherokees, the Black Hawks, all of them were just living in harmony. Nobody fought, nobody had no slaves. No, they had slaves too. Africans had other Africans as slaves. Slavs were being enslaved. Islamic people were being enslaved. India, during the time that slavery was like a huge hit, India had one of the biggest slave trades that was going on in all the world. China was almost up there with them. Well, nobody is talking about that because guess what? You have been trained in America. You have been trained in America. Listen to me, Americans. You have been trained in America to think a particular way. When you think about slavery, the only thing that most likely is going to come to your mind 99.9% of the time is white people bad, black people getting beat. White supremacy, black inferiority. That's the main, let me be honest. We on Instagram Live right now. I can see things coming in. Ask yourself this. Whenever we think about slavery, do you not sit there and think about what white people did to black people? Right? So that's why I made the comment, and nobody right now, all I'm getting is a bunch of hate. I'm getting a bunch of heat, a bunch of this nigga don't know nothing, this don't know nothing, this nigga don't know nothing, this This what I'm getting. But nobody is sitting there saying, well, wait a minute. Let me see what this dude is talking about. A handful of people are saying that. A handful of people are going, let me see what this dude is talking about when he says slavery was initially a race thing. See what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden their minds get blown. Bro, I didn't even know that it was a worldwide thing going on. I did not know that it was a worldwide phenomenon. I know because America purposely taught you that slavery seemed to have only happened in America. Why wouldn't you think that way? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you not think that way? When it comes to talking about slavery, most schools in America is going to talk about how white people treated black people. But then they turn around and say, we need to teach the whole truth. Well, then teach the whole truth. The whole truth is it was a worldwide thing. It was very common. It goes way back to biblical times. The Egyptians enslaved the Israelites. They did. So let me break this down again for the ones who want to refute me on this. Don't come at me with hate. Don't come at me with, oh, this dude don't know. No, this porch monkey, this coon, he paid by Fox. That's the best you got? Please. You got the wrong bro. Or you got the wrong N-word. Yeah, I'm from the hood. We can go hood if you want to. You got the wrong one, cuz. I mean, what? You mad because I'm bringing the truth now? You mad because I'm uncovering stuff to keep you from making excuses about why you can't get where you need to get. I'm not going to patty cake nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, like I said, 20 to 40% of indigenous people were enslaved by other indigenous people. From 1501 to like, I think around don't quote me on this, 1873, 1875-ish, 12.7 million Africans that were enslaved in the transatlantic. Yeah, 12.7 million roughly, right? 5.8 million went to Portugal, right? 5.8 million went to Portugal. I think like 26 some odd percent went to English, 11% went to French, 4% went to Dutch. Guess how many out of that 12 million came to America? Guess how many came to America? 2.4% out of that 12 million. Almost 13 million. Let's just give it a rough number, 13 million. Out of that 13 some odd million slaves during the transatlantic slave trade, 12% of them came to America. Then if we so about our black South, our black this, why aren't any of y'all saying that about Portugal then? Huh? Portugal got the most, 5.8 million? Why isn't anybody raising up in Portugal about black people? Huh? Why ain't nobody saying that about that? When you want to come on here and try to say this dude is lying, please show me how I'm lying. Please show, come on, come at me with it, because I know I did my research. It's y'all's fault. It's y'all's fault why I went and did this research. I went and did my research and found this stuff out. Again, you want it again? 12.7 million. They're Africans. 12.7 million Africans were enslaved in the transatlantic slave trade. 5.8 went to Portugal. 26% went to the English. 11% went to the French. 8% went to the Spanish. 4% went to the Dutch. And 2.4% came to America. The smallest number. But why are we making it seem like in America it's the biggest thing? We should be kind of directing our attention to what's going on in Portugal. What are these black folks saying in Portugal? That's what we need to be looking at, because I mean, they got a ton of our brothers and sisters. I wonder if their stories even the same in Portugal. I wonder if they're getting the same stories that we're getting over here. I wonder if they're going around going, our ancestors, we were beat, we were raped. I wonder if they're doing the same thing. Not saying that I'm not giving no light to that at all, because that's definitely a terrible thing that happened. But my point is, I wonder what they are saying over there in Portugal about slavery. I wonder if over in Portugal, and I'm going to do my research on this too, I want to see the success rate and what's going on over in Portugal when it comes to our ancestors, because, you know, they are our ancestors too. You know what I'm saying? The ones that went to the English, the one that went to the Spanish, the one that went to the Dutch, the ones that went to the French. I want to know what they are doing in those countries right now. I wonder if they're giving the same excuses that America is trying to give us right now as to why we can't get ahead. 400 some odd years and we still can't get ahead? 400 some odd years and black people still can't get ahead because of something that the white people did way back when. Yeah, I know it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. I totally understand that, because it's hard to get your mind open to what you've been taught all of your life. First slaves arrived around 1619. That's what everybody's big. Oh, we got a federal holiday, 1619, when the first ones arrived here. Guess what? Did y'all know that the second slave boat that came in 1646, did you know that it's something that Malcolm X talk about all the time? He says, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. See, one thing about us black folks, I'm just being real. We love some good teaching and preaching and stuff like that. I mean, don't lie. A lot of folks do, period. But I'm just saying amongst the black churches, because that was a big thing that was back in the slave days too. We had some awesome preachers. Frederick Douglass being one of them, and I'm going to get on that in a little bit. But they were so big, we are so big on hearing good word, good teaching, a good message, how somebody brings it, that a lot of times we get so caught up in it and don't even realize a lot of times that it is sensationalism. Nothing more than sensationalism. Nothing more than sensationalism. Getting pumped up. Somebody making, they're charismatic. They really bringing it. But I'm the type of person to sit back and just kind of wait for a little bit, like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what is it that he's saying. What is it that he's talking about? What actually is the message behind what he's saying? But just because you get up there, you're looking good, you're sounding good, you're doing all this, you're doing all that, you're articulating your words in a good way, you're being real, that does not mean that you are saying something. You're using a lot of big words that people can't even understand to make yourself sound good and look good, but in all reality, you are not even saying them. What is the message? Folks, I'm Ty Smith. You're listening to Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600. So I said all this about it because Malcolm X was a very profound speaker, and he said, Plymouth Rock, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, but did y'all know that when that ship came in 1646 that the Pilgrims got straight ticked off? Like, wait, what y'all doing with this slave boat? Yeah, I'm kind of making this story up for y'all. This is how I see it in my mind. The Pilgrims were like, what are y'all doing with this slave boat? And the slave owner and the captain were like, that's not being done here. Guess what they did? They locked up the captain of the boat and they locked up the slaveholder boat and freed those slaves. Oh my God, what? Oh. Why isn't our schools telling us? Why? Because they don't want to make it seem like white people actually were good people during that time too? Oh my God. Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, big eyes and everything being shown. I know. Folks shocked. The little head explosion. I get it. Don't believe what I'm saying to y'all right now. Do not believe what I'm saying to you right now. Go and research your stuff. It's going to be so easy right now. I mean, it's people in here on Instagram right now. I want to know what the ones that was actually calling me out. I don't care who you are. Where are they at right now when I'm coming with these facts? Since I'm so ignorant, since I'm so stupid, I don't know my stuff. I don't know my history. See, when you say I don't know my history, you're only referring to black history, right? But we all are the human race. And I cannot wait. I hope I'm able to get to it. I cannot wait to be able to show y'all some of the stuff that Benjamin Franklin was writing down. Thomas Jefferson was writing down. John Adams, they were writing down in their bibliographies of what they felt about slavery, but they are not going to tell you that in school. Why? Why are they keeping this away from us? Because the same system that had all humanity enslaved during that time is the same system that's trying to enslave all of us right now, but not on a physical level now, but more on an emotional, spiritual, and mental level. And that's exactly what they're doing on it. Why do I say spiritual? Because our forefathers talked to God. Oh boy, did he just happen to go there? Yes, I went there because they talked to God. They fasted and prayed. Folks, we can ready to take another commercial break here. I'm Ty Smith, and you listen to my show, Cancel This, on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. Be right back. Normal. I am Ty Smith and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299 and you can text the show at 309-807-1600. And before we took the break, I was irrefutably, spitting out facts, letting people know about slavery when it first started. I was telling people how in America, when you talk about slavery, the first thing that 99.9% of Americans think about is white people dominating black people. That's the first thing they think about. I was also using this as a means because people heard me go on Fox News and I said slavery never was about race initially. And people lost their mind, especially amongst the black community. They, throw their hands. This N-word. His mama had him by a microwave when she was saying all kinds. I was laughing. I was cracking up. They were saying my mama held me. My mama cooked near a microwave when I was a baby. I can laugh at stuff like that because, you know what I'm saying? I never knew that one day the stuff that I faced in the hood, the stuff that we did for entertainment because we really had nothing to do, that's why I'm able to laugh at it. We did something now. Young people, y'all might not know this word, but I got a cousin in here right now that's in here live. He know this word. We called it joning. We joned on each other. We joned on each other for fun. And what you learn from joining on each other is that you end up learning to take anything somebody said about you and be able to laugh at it because it is indeed funny. So a lot of things that people were saying about me, saying that my mom held me by a microwave while cooking and I was dropped a few times, I seriously laughed at it because that's some type of stuff that I would say. So I laughed at it. But my point in saying all that is being able to have this mindset that when you get the truth about something, folks, when you get the truth about something, don't be afraid to speak it out. Now, this is something that's real peculiar, though. This is something that's real peculiar. Y'all, this is just crazy. Check this out. The black people that came at me, that was calling me a coon, tap dancing for the white man, calling me a house Negro, calling me a porch Negro, calling me a porch monkey, calling me an Uncle Tom, and calling me like the epitome of Uncle Toms. There were white people that said the same thing. Now, hold on now. Wait a minute. Black people, white people are able to say that to me? Huh? So now I got white people on there, and I screenshotted you too. I got white people on here calling me a house. Now I'm saying Negro just for the radio's sake, because I don't know if I can say this on the radio. But that Negro, leave the row out and put the there. They were calling me that. White people were now. So black folks, Black Lives Matter, where y'all at? I got screenshots. I will send it in to the NAACP. I will send it in to Black Lives Matter. I wonder if y'all gonna come and march for me. That I got white people calling me the word with the at the end of it. But guess what? Guess what, America? After these people made these comments, I saw black people making comments behind the white people that call me that, showing hand claps. Huh? Yeah. I had black people saying, yeah, exactly. Behind the white people that literally called me the N-word. So, America, I ask you, is it really about race, what I said and what I did? Or did I happen to bust up something that just took people by surprise, which is exposing pure evil? You see what I'm saying? When you can have black people and white people unite on coming at me about what I said, then is it really still about race? Because if it was, how come no black people say, hey, hold on, wait a minute now, white person. You ain't got no business calling that man the N-word. You ain't got no business calling that man a house N-word. You have no business calling that man a porch monkey. Yeah, white people call me that too. But guess what? I know why. You figure that if you do that the black people are going to like me better. It's going to show that I'm really for the black people. It's going to show that I'm on their side. But then you have some black people that ask, wait a minute, time out. Wait a minute. Now they're catching heat over that. See what I'm saying? So what is it really about? Is it really about race and what I said, or is it really about it actually expose something that's completely evil that doesn't give a care about your skin color? All it cares about is controlling you and dominating you as humans. We are all being instigated into a fight that we never had no animosity over. We're all being instigated into a fight that we never even looked at, and how all of a sudden we started hating each other? We really don't. We're being told to hate each other. How all of a sudden we're being told to dislike each other? We never disliked each other. We are being told to dislike each other. And that's exactly what this force is doing. The end game has nothing to do with the race. The end game has everything to do with being able to dominate human beings like they did before during the time of slavery. When I say time of slavery, get your mind off of America. I'm talking about world domination. I'm talking about pure slavery that was being pushed upon people of all colors, of all races, by their very own colors, by their very own race. That's what they're trying to do. You have to understand this, and once you understand this, you're going to be able to pick up on it and see it for what it is, and then we can actually turn that around, unite, and go against this evil force that's trying to get us to hate each other, because it's trying to do something else behind that. Get the focus on us hating each other, and then they got us. Folks, more of the show when we come back. Next, I am Ty Smith, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This, on Cities 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man. You are listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299. Again, that phone number is 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at 309-807-1600. And when we took the break, I was pretty much giving facts on why certain people's mindsets is where it is right now, is because a lot of people are so far gone and so far indoctrinated with what America has taught us to think about slavery that when you come with a truth, it shakes up their whole world. It causes them to go into a defense mode, and then they go into the attack mode. And most of the time, if they have nothing, and this is one of my sayings, and I'm going to get this on the t-shirt. Don't worry, it's coming, folks. You get pissed off when you have trying to shout me down. You want to hear that again? When you have nothing intellectually to say to rebuttal me, you going to resort to calling me names, trying to cuss me out, trying to shout me down because you have nothing intellectually to say to rebuttal what I said. If you don't agree with me, just say, I don't agree with you. I don't know everything, folks, but what I do know, I know it well. Okay? If I don't know something, like somebody says something like, hey, man, we had slaves that was doing yada yada peanut butter. And I'll say, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know that, but I'm going to have to go and check it out. Sometimes somebody can say to me, man, don't you know that they did X, Y, and Z, HIJK, And I would say, no, I don't know that. I can't say that I agree with you, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it out, and then I'll get back with you and tell you what I think about it. That's how all conversations should go. If I'm bringing something to you that you don't know about, I don't expect you, and I will hope you wouldn't just agree with what I'm saying. I don't care how good I'm making it sound. I will hope that you would just listen and say, oh, okay, I feel you, but I'm going to look this stuff up for myself. Because true revelation and true understanding comes when you actually go and search this stuff out and do it yourself. That's how it comes. I'm only spitting this knowledge back to you because I went and took the time out to research this stuff myself and look it up. So, what we're going to get back on again, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to try my best not to go off to the side, is when I made a comment on Martha McCallum's show, and I'm going to stick by it, I said slavery was not about race initially, and it set the darn black community on fire. Because you thought that I was only talking about slavery in America, white people dominating black people, right? So let me go ahead and go through some of these facts. 20 to 40% of indigenous people that was in America were enslaved by other indigenous people. Indians were enslaving other Indians. From 1501 to 1875, 12.7 million Africans enslaved were in the transatlantic. Okay? 5.8 million of those went to Portugal, which nobody seems to talk about. 26% of them went to English, nobody's talking about. 11% went to French, it seems like the world is not talking about. 8% went to Spanish, which the world don't seem to be talking about. 4% went to the Dutch, which the world don't be seen to talk about. 2.4% went to the United States. Everybody's talking about that. Everybody. Matter of fact, it's so bad right now, we need the United Nations to come in and just help show white people how to treat black people. We so bad right now, we need foreigners. We need a foreign entity to come in and help us with our mess. It's just like a marriage. I know there's certain things like marriage counseling and all that, but the thing is, when it comes to a marriage, folks, I've been married for 20 years. You want to know why? Because within your mind, within your heart, you know good and well within the marriage, one of y'all are wrong. One of you are going to be wrong. It's just the truth. Fess up to it. If you're wrong about it, just be man. You might need 13 days. I don't know how much time you need to calm down, because y'all, like a marriage, like a relationship, you get in a heated argument. It's heated. And then when y'all, neither one of y'all come to an agreement, y'all done. You know what I mean? When I say y'all done arguing. Y'all go y'all separate ways. Man might sleep on the couch. I don't know. But my point is, a lot of times you need time to calm down before you can come back and talk about it. Right now, the tension is so high that people are scared to talk about it. I'm the type of person that when I'm like, hey, look, I can talk about it right now because I can put my emotions off to the side and look at this from a logical standpoint. Let's talk about this logically. Get your emotions aside. Get your, man, look what they did to us. Look what they did to our queens. No. We ain't talking about what they did to the black people then. We're talking about right now. Why can't we talk about right now? No, man, because you got to understand your history. I understand my history. I understand my history so well that I let my history not get the better of me and keep me from going and pursuing anything that I want to do. That's how well I know my history. I know my history so well that I'm not going to sit there and let all the bad things that white people did to black people back then stop me from doing something today. I know the enemy so well and his strategy so well that I know that I'm not going to let him use the excuse of white people doing what they did to black people as a reason why current black people can't do anything right now. No way. 40 million slaves are said to be still in slavery today. There are still countries that have not freed slaves today. But we only going to focus on what happened 400 years ago in America, because that makes sense. Don't focus on the slavery right now. Don't focus on the sex slave that's going on right now. Don't focus on the poor little children that they just let flood into this country that's going to eventually go into sex trafficking. Slavery today, still the same color people almost too. Brown people. So like I said earlier, folks, the first slaves that arrived here in America arrived in Virginia 1619. And most of them were what you may want to call indentured servants or chattel servants. If you don't know what that means like, for instance, I'll give you an example. That means you're telling somebody, I'm going to work for you for a certain amount of time, for a certain amount of years, with the expectation of being freed and being able to go and inherit what I'm rightfully able so to inherit during the time of slavery. Now, I know what it ended up eventually turning into. I know what slavery ended up eventually also being turned into a horrible thing, definitely in the South. But in the North, indentured servants were doing their job. And not only that, y'all do know there were white people here too. Oh boy. Well, why you gotta go there? No, nobody want to talk about the Irish people or none of that either, right? You don't want to talk about them, huh? You don't want to talk about the Slav. You don't want to talk about, you don't, see, that's what I'm saying. America, they're only trying to tell us that the only people that were enslaved here were black people, and there was not. White people were enslaved too. Go and read your history. Do not believe what I'm telling you. Go and read your history. Folks, I'm Ty Smith. You're listening to Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600. So, moving on from that, the second slave ship that arrived here in 1646 arrived on Plymouth Rock, and guess what? When they arrived here, the Pilgrims freed the slaves and put the captain and the slave owner in jail for, guess what? Stealing humans is what they went to jail for. And you want to go a little further than that? This is arguable, though. This is arguable. The first documented slave was owned by somebody who was once a slave. Oh boy. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to black people. This is what I'm saying. When I said anytime truth is being brought to you, especially if it's being brought to us, we don't want it. Why is it that we fight against it? When I sit there and give you statistics and facts and everything about what is plaguing the black community, how come they don't want to hear it? How come y'all want to get ticked off at me and start calling me Uncle Tom? Because I'm telling you the cancer that's killing black people right now. But you don't want to hear that because it's easy to go with the excuses that this system is trying to give us, that the world's mindset is trying to give us. It's not our fault why our fathers are not in the home. It's not our fault why we keep on killing each other. It's not our fault why we keep on having a high rate of teenage pregnancy. It is not our fault why we keep on going and slaughtering our babies. It's not our fault. It is the white man's fault. It is the white man oppression of us that's making us have sex and making us have a bunch of baby mamas. As long as we are known on the streets for having a bunch of hoes and all that, that's the white people's fault. But if I come and actually split this up like I'm doing right now, then I'm catching hate. Man, you just a sellout. Wait, time out. I'm a sellout for telling the truth about what's going on in our community and telling you it's not white people's fault. It's actually our fault. Why do you say all that, Tyler? Because the minute I sit there and say the first documented slave in America, documented. I'm not saying it was the first slave, so don't get that twisted like y'all try to do me on my word when I said slave was not about race initially. Y'all left out the initial part and just forgot about that. So like I'm saying right here, I'm not saying that this man was the first slave, but I am saying the first documented slave was owned by Anthony Johnson, who was at one time an indentured servant slave himself. He ended up getting a slave. This slave worked for him, did his job, blah, 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 blah. When the slave was supposed to be set free, Anthony Johnson said, oh, no, absolutely not. Y'all want me to do it? Y'all want me to do it? Y'all want me to go in character? I don't think so. You ain't fixing to go free on me. You didn't do your job, boy. You didn't do your job. The slave, oh, yes, I did, sir. I did my job. No, I'm taking you to court. He took him to court. Anthony Johnson took the slave to court, and he presented his case to the judge and told the judge this man did not do his job like he was supposed to as an indentured slave. And the reason why I know he didn't do his job like he was supposed to is because I once had his job and he didn't live up to his job. So he owes me. And guess who the judge ruled in favor of? He ruled in favor of a black man that owned a black slave. Oh my God, but in black people, man, why you gotta go there? See, we ain't talking about that though, cuz. Wait a minute. You said you wanted the whole truth. You said you want America actually to get everything out. Well, we're going to talk about it all. Don't just talk about certain things you want to keep out. It's like what a lot of ministers do with the Bible. You sit there and tell the Bible to only fit your narrative. You sit there and tell the Bible and read off scriptures that only fit your narrative to go along with what you did. Why not just tell everybody the whole truth and let them decide? So now, Anthony Johnson took that slave to court because he said, I paid for this. Look, Anthony Johnson paid for this indentured servant to be shipped over here now. He paid for him. He paid for this man to come over here and work for him, and he didn't do it. So the early slave laws in America allowed the ownership. Look, don't quote me on this. I'm not saying don't quote me. I'm sorry. I'm going too fast. Let me slow down. You got to think about this. Do not quote me on this or what I'm saying. Don't quote me at all. Go and do the research to see what I'm saying is true. Don't believe nothing I'm saying to you guys right now. You got the internet right in front of you. Go and check it out. Folks, more to show when we come back. I'm Ty Smith. You're listening to Cancel This on Cities 92.9 and News and Talk of Bloomington. What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, and you're listening to Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600. And before we took the break, I was giving statistics. I was giving facts on the beginnings of slavery, not the American way, not the American indoctrinated brainwash way, but the actual, just the flat out plain truth. I went through a list of facts, a list of statistics that I know a lot of the listeners did not know about, but I hope y'all go and find out if what I'm saying is true, because I want you to know the truth for yourself. And that's why the good book says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It didn't say I will tell you the truth and that's going to make you free. And I don't want you guys to go off thinking that. Right now, even if you believe me, I still want you to go and do it, because like I said, the good book says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And that's what's so liberating about this, is the truth. Okay. So let's get back on this. And the last thing that I left off on was kind of letting you guys know about this slavery. I was kind of going into how when the pilgrims were already here, but when a boat landed here, the second slave boat came in 1646, that the pilgrims was like, oh, we're not having this. See, I'm making this good for you guys. The pilgrims were like, we're not having this. So guess what? They took the captain of the boat and the slave owner and put them in jail for stealing humans. Guess what? They said stealing humans. They didn't even say stealing Negroes, stealing Africans. They said stealing humans. So Anthony Johnson, I mentioned also, was the first he was the first one to have the first documented slave. The first documented slave was Anthony B. Johnson's slave that he actually went back on, and the slave thought he was going to be free, and Anthony Johnson took that slave to court to win him back. So up to the 16th century, there were more documented white slaves than there were Africans. We don't want to talk about that. Why? Because again, I know, don't even try it. It's not going to work. The ones that's listening right now, when this replays on Instagram, it's not going to work when you try to turn around and say, you're just sitting there trying to do this for the white people. No. See, the truth me telling the truth does not have anything to do with the color. If it was a white person right now that was saying this to you guys, y'all would say, well, look at you sitting there asserting your white oppression on us. You trying to put your white supremacy on us. I guess you're going to tell us black folks what we need to hear. And that's why a lot of white people feel like they can't say nothing right now, because you're going to instantly try to throw it in there and make it seem like they're trying to usurp their white supremacy on you or their oppression on you. And white people know what's best for black people. So a white person gonna tell a black person the truth. But then I'm up here saying it, and it doesn't even matter, because then I'm going to be an Uncle Tom. I'm only being told to do this because white people telling me to do this. I'm being paid by Fox News. I'm actually Candace Owens' brother. Keep on making up excuses for me telling the truth, and you don't want to face it, because I'm telling you what the issue is with black people. But nobody wants to hear that. Well, I'm not going to say that. There is people who want to hear that, because there are people that are calling. There are people that are texting me. There are single mothers that said, oh my God. There's ones that reaching out to me saying, bro, what school did you go to? I never even heard of somebody that was in physical therapy or anything. I'm getting these things from people that they didn't. It's amazing. So I'm loving that. And that's why my focus is not to sit there and try to argue with the ones that I know that all they want to do is just argue for argument's sake. To keep my focus off of giving the truth to the people that actually want the truth, that's actually listening to the truth. Because the ones that listen to the truth, they will go out and seek this out for themselves. So anyway, New England, the first major region in the world to abolish slavery, right? Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, 1787, abolished slavery. Connecticut in 1784 and Rhode Island abolished slavery. New Hampshire, 1792, abolished slavery. Vermont, 1793, abolished slavery. New York, 1799, abolished slavery. New Jersey, 1804. The white people fought because they believed that all men were created equal. Did y'all know that people like Benjamin Franklin, the founding fathers of slavery, remember that the founding fathers, they all were racist. They were all racist, right? Were we not being told that? We've been told that they're all racist. They're all racist. All the founding fathers, they're all racist. Thomas Jefferson wrote, and he said this, and yeah, don't believe me. He said, in fact, many of the founders vigorously complained against the fact that Great Britain had forcibly imposed upon the colonies the evil of slavery. Don't that sound racist? Who said this time? Thomas Jefferson. Wait, wait. See, what makes this interesting is that, I didn't even know that who Thomas Jefferson was. We always said in Decatur, Illinois, there's a school called TJ. We know that at, what school was I in? Middle school? Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt. I didn't even know that dude was anything. I just know that the school I went to was Roosevelt. Roosevelt getting ready to play TJ. What is TJ? Oh, you go to Thomas Jefferson? We didn't even know who these people were. We just know that that's the name of the school. But then to come and find out right now where they're trying to actually push on our young people right now about these people being, about Thomas Jefferson, them all being these, racist founding fathers. But what about, look, these people that are called racist, I'm telling you, listen to me, folks. Anybody they want to try to classify from Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, to find out if they were racist, go and read their bibliographies. Look this stuff and research, because it's easy to sit there and say, well, they had slaves, but does that make them racist? Does that make them racist? If that was a normal thing back in those times, was it considered racist? There was a time that it was okay for grown men to sit there and be with little girls. No, it wasn't. Then why is there a law right now that says you cannot be with a 13, 12, 11, 10-year-old kid, which they're trying to change that in California? A man just can't go and start dating a 12-year-old girl. He in his 40s. He can't just go and date a little bitty girl. Why is that? Because there is something called a law in place. Why is that law in place? Because they were doing it before. It was normal at one time. So again, I'm going to slow this down because I know I'm a fast talker. Thomas Jefferson criticized Great Britain. He said, in fact, many of the founders vigorously complained against the fact that Great Britain had forcibly imposed the colonies of evil of slavery. He said this, Thomas Jefferson, listen, Thomas Jefferson said he was referring to King George. He has waged cruel war against human nature itself, violating its most sacred rights of life and liberty in the persons of distant people who never offended him, captivating and carrying them into slavery in another hemisphere, or to incur miserable death in their transportation. Determined to keep open a market. Keep open a what, Thomas Jefferson? Keep open a market? You mean this is about money? Is that about their color? To keep open a market, it said, where men should be bought and sold. He has prostituted his negative for suppressing every legislative attempt to prohibit, to restrain the excusable commerce of slave trading. Does that sound like a racist person to you? They were already in their mind thinking that this was a terrible thing that was being done, and immediately started to go against the British Empire. That's why it's so important for you to understand what the Independence Day is all about, folks. That's why it's so important, but nobody wants to hear that. Why aren't they telling us in the school? You go to a school that's called TJ. You would think that school would put a lot of emphasis on teaching what Thomas Jefferson talked about. But why not? Folks, we're going to have to take a break here. I am Ty Smith. You listen to my show, Cancel This, on Season 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. What is going on, Bloomington Normal and America that's listening online? I am Ty Smith, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, I'm feeling a little hurt right now. And the reason why I'm feeling hurt is because all the people that was calling me coon and calling me house Negro and calling me a porch monkey and calling me all this stuff, and ones that said I don't know my history and I'm so ignorant, stupid, and dumb, not one has called in. And I gave them the phone number. I even told them, well, how about this? How about you give me your number and I'll call you from the radio station? Not one call. For all the ones that want to set me straight. Before we took the break, I was letting you guys know about a lot of people that we were told that were being racist, that we were told that our founding fathers were completely racist. They hated black people, yada, yada, peanut butter. Right? That's what we were being taught. And that's what they're trying to push right now. They're trying to completely get rid of these founders of America and paint them in this picture. Because you know what? America, listen to me. They think that y'all are so dumb that they just know that y'all won't go and see if what they're saying about these founding fathers is real. They just want you to believe them because guess what? If people are going around destroying statues and tearing things up because they're saying that these people are all racist, you just figured, hey, if a lot of people are on board with this, then it must be right. I was always the type of person that when a fight broke out and I seen the whole crowd run that way, I'm not running that way. No, I'm about to see what's going on. I'm not about to go see what's going on. I'm going to wait because I'm from the hood. And when the fight broke out, the smart ones, we didn't run towards it because we knew somebody can pull a gun out and then bullets and stuff are going to start flying. I'm not about to be caught up in it. That's the type of person I thought about. That's the type of person that I'm thinking about right now. Are you that type of person that if you see a crowd of folks all rush some particular way, are you going to run with them? Or are you going to sit back and say, wait a minute, I'm going to see what's going on first. I'm going to let everything settle down. Because I'm not about to be caught up in all the pandemonium. Folks, you're listening to Cities 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. I'm Ty Smith. Phone number here is 309-451-9299, and we have a caller. You are on Cities 92.9. This is Ty.
Hi, Ty.
Hello.
Hi, I can't hear you that well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear as day.
Okay, great. Hi, Ty. This is Karen calling from Bloomington. I just had a comment. And I hope you stay strong, and I'm sorry for all the verbal abuse that you have to take, but you are getting the word out there. I just wanted to state that now in 2021, people are enslaved by their minds by social media. Mm-hmm. They're enslaved. And it's not skin color. We need to go back and teach history in school because this has been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, the Irish were threatened by the English. They came to America. They were beaten in the streets of New York and enslaved as servants. The Chinese still and now have the Muslims working in their camps, making those tennis shoes, and if they don't work, they kill them and put them in a burn pile, or they sell their organs. And then going back to history of white on white, it's not skin color, people. We need to study history, and you are enlightening our minds and opening up our minds, and we need that. And I thank you for that because Hitler with the German people, with the Jewish people in camps. So this will go on, but our minds have to be strong, and our souls have to be strong, and we have to go forward as Christian soldiers, so to speak.
You are absolutely right. I appreciate those words. I appreciate you calling in, and I hope that more people have that same type of mindset. I hope you continuously teach this to any of your relatives, to any of your family, even if it is going to cause any type of argument within the family, because it's time for truth to completely come out, period. Like, to me, there's no better time right now in history, and I think that this is going to be something that's going to be historical for us all to seriously come together. We're going to find out what we are all about through this. And I really appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Have a good one. So, folks, y'all see this right now that a lot of people are definitely fed up with this. They see what's going on right now. They see that they're trying to pin us against each other. But what we have to display is us being united. See, the ones that we see out there in the streets, the ones we see out there all rioting, and we see all the propaganda of, them out there tearing things up, picketing, all that. Where are the righteous ones at? Huh? Where's the church? My church that I go to is called Christ Tabernacle in Decatur, Illinois, Pastor Kelly Wilson. We are not cowards at our church. None whatsoever. We will speak out against anything that's going on that's evil because we stand up for truth and righteousness, and not sitting there saying that we damn people. That we're not the type of church where you're a sinner, you're going to hell, you're done. No, we're not like that. We're all about what Jesus was all about, and that's saving people. And Jesus did not care what color you was. Last time I checked, he died for the sins of the world. He didn't die for the sins of just the white people, just the black people, just the English people, just the Africans, just the Jews. He died for the sins of the world. And if you are part of the world, then whatever you do that's sinful, he died for that too. And it's not to condemn, period. Why are you saying that, Ty? Because you need to understand that from the beginning of time, there is a evil that's out there that does not care what color you are. It hates you because you are made in the image of God, whether you believe in God or not. The devil don't care. The devil don't care if you believe in him either. He hopes that you don't care he hopes that you don't believe that he actually exists or him and his demonic angels exist. He hopes that you don't. As long as you keep on carrying out those deeds, he does not care. Oh, here we go, believing in this fairy godfather up in the air. You can say what you want to. You will not be able to take away the experience that I actually had with God. And that's the reason why I'm able to stand and speak in truth. If what I'm saying is not so truthful, if it's not such a threat, then why am I catching so much heat over it? And thanks to the call that called in, but I can tell you right now, sis, you have to know me. My family knows me very well, that I seriously can tell you wholeheartedly, and people on the internet that's been on my live streams on YouTube, they can flat out tell you, Ty don't care. Matter of fact, I don't care to the extent of what people say about me, because when I get a hold of truth, I stay on it, I stick with it, and people know this so well that they actually made me a t-shirt that says, fun fact, I don't care. It was made by my moderators, Barb DeJaneiro and Delisa. They both made me this shirt and sent it to me, and it says, fun fact, I don't care. And that's the legit truth, people. I seriously do not care what people have to say about me. The fact that I got here where I am, none of those people that are trying to bash me right now can contribute to that. So therefore, what they say to me or about me does not matter to me. So let me get back on this little thing right here, folks, to tell you about our racist founding fathers that our system in, education is keeping from our children. Since they said CRT is a part of history, it needs to all be taught. Well, so did this about our founding fathers. So let's check this out. Benjamin Franklin in 1773, he sent a letter to Dean Woodward, confirmed that whenever the Americans had attempted to end slavery, the British government had tried to, they didn't want that to happen. The British government did not want to end slavery. So is every black person here in Decatur, in Illinois, in Bloomington, in all the United States, says Britain did not want slavery to end? Are we going to go and sit there and want to go over there right now and cause all the black people there rise up because Britain did not want to end slavery? So Benjamin Franklin said a disposition to abolish slavery. What? Let me slow down. Benjamin Franklin said what? Benjamin Franklin said, this is his words, a disposition to abolish slavery prevails in North America. Wait, Benjamin Franklin, say that again. Benjamin Franklin said a disposition to do what? Abolish slavery prevails in North America. That many of Pennsylvanians have set their slaves at liberty. Whoa, time out. I thought slavery was just going on from the beginning of the time. Wait, Pennsylvanians have done what? Pennsylvanians have set their slaves at liberty, and that even the Virginia Assembly have petitioned the king for permission to make a law preventing the importation of more into that colony. This request, however, will probably not be granted, as their former laws of that kind have always been repealed. Further confirmation, folks, that even the Virginia founders were not responsible. Again, the Virginia founders were not responsible for slavery, but they actually tried to dismantle it. They tried to dismantle the institution of slavery. It was provided by John Quincy Adams, known as the Hellhound Abolition. Y'all know John Quincy Adams? He said the inconsistency of the institution of domestic slavery with the principles of the Declaration of Independence was seen and lamented by all Southern patriots of the Revolution, by no one with a deeper, more conviction than by the author of the Declaration himself. He's talking about Thomas Jefferson. Conviction? What do you mean conviction? Who convicts? That sounds like something of church, don't it? Church folks, don't conviction sound like something they say that's what the Holy Spirit does? Wait a minute. He was convicted. What do you mean convicted? Hold on. Conviction, huh? No charge of insecurity or hypocrisy can be fairly laid to their charge. Never from their lips was heard one syllable, folks, of attempt to justify the institution of slavery. They universally considered it as a reproach fastened upon them by the unnatural stepmother country, Great Britain. And they saw that before the principles of the Declaration of Independence, slavery in the common with every other mode of oppression was destined to be sooner than later banished from the earth. So there was some in the South that actually wanted to keep that thing alive. The founding fathers of the South was trying to keep it alive. Yes, despite the support of slavery from those states, the clear majority of the founders opposed this evil. For instance, when some of the Southern pro-slavery advocates invoked the Bible in support of slavery, Elias, president of the Continental Congress, Elias Boudinot, he said even the sacred scriptures, wait a minute, time out. Is he referring to the Bible? Wait, our founding fathers were referring to the Bible? Yeah, Elias, don't take my word for it, folks. Go and look it up. Elias Boudinot, I might be saying his name wrong, president of the Continental Congress. He said even the sacred scriptures had been quoted to justify this iniquitous traffic. He said, it is true that the Egyptians held the Israelites in bondage for 400 years, but the gentleman cannot forget the consequences that followed. They were delivered by a strong hand. He's talking about God. They were delivered by a strong hand and stretched out arm. And it ought to be remembered that the almighty power that accomplished their deliverance is the same yesterday, today, and forever. In other words, he's saying what's going on with this slavery, if the almighty God of that time delivered them, and that almighty God is who we believe in, and this almighty God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, then why do we have them? John Adams proclaimed, he said, my opinion against it. My opinion against slavery has always been known. Never in my life did I own a slave. Oh boy. They're not going to tell you that in school though, are they? Why won't they tell us that in school? Why are they trying to keep alive the question of slavery? It is admitted by all the great evil, Charles Carroll, signer of the Declaration of Independence, trying to keep it alive. Samuel Adams, signer of the Declaration of Independence, he says, but to the eye of reason, what can be more clear that all men have an equal right to happiness? Did y'all know that? Listeners, Samuel Adams was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. He's known as the father of the American Revolution, remember? He said, but to the eye of reason, what can be more clear than that all men have equal right to happiness? Nature made no distinction than that of a higher or lower degrees of power to the mind and body. Folks, we're going to take a break here. I know y'all wanted me to get on this, but let's take a break here. We'll come right back. This is the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I know you guys are out there enjoying this. I can hear y'all cheering through the radio. I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-807-1600, and you can also listen in through Instagram. I am on there right now, Modern Renaissance Man, with the O in modern being a 0. So before we took the break, I was letting you guys in on what some of our forefathers, who a lot of people said was racist, some of the things they wrote about. And let me continue on with that, all right? Let me tell you about one of the person goes by the name Luther Martin. He was a delegate at the Constitution Convention. He said it ought to be considered that national crimes can only be and frequently are punished in this world by national punishments, and that the countenance of slave trade and thus giving it a national sanction and encouragement ought to be considered as justly exposing us to the displeasure and vengeance of him who is equally Lord of all and who views with equal eye the poor African slave and his American master. Doesn't that sound like that's something that they didn't want to happen? George Mason was a delegate of the Constitution Convention. He says, as much as I value a union of all states, I would not admit the southern states into this union until they agree the discontinuance of this disgraceful slave trade. Y'all want to hear that again? The person has something to do with the Constitutional Convention? What did he say? George Mason. He said, as much as I value a union with all the states, I would not admit the southern states into this union unless they agree the discontinuance of this disgraceful trade. That definitely sounds like a racist person. Doesn't it? That sounds like a racist person. For many of the founding fathers, let me slow down. Many of the founding fathers, their feelings against slavery went beyond words. So example, like in 1774, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Rush founded America's first anti-slavery society. John Jay was president of a similar society in New York now. So now, when the signer of the Constitution, William Livingston, this is one of my favorite ones. William Livingston, signer of the Constitution, heard of the New York Society. He, as the governor of New Jersey, listen to what William Livingston said. I like this. William Livingston said, may the great and equal father of the human race, okay, let me slow down because I'm getting excited. Livingston said, may the great and equal father of the human race, who was expressly declared his abhorrence of oppression, and that he is no respecter of persons, succeed a design so laudably calculated to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free and break every yoke. That is the writing. But what I love about this, y'all, the ones right now, if you're on a computer, this man, he was a signer of the Constitution, William Livingston. He said, may the great and equal father of what race? Did he say black? Did he say Africans? Did he say Negroes? Did he say Slavs? Did he say Indians? He said, may the great and equal father of the human race. What did he say? The word race. He said the human race. He didn't say no other colors, did he? So again, America, if you are listening, when I said in my interview with Fox News that America, and I said that slavery itself was not initially about race. Tell me where I'm wrong at when these so-called founding fathers sat here and he said, may the great and equal father of the human race. I love that so much. I love that so much. Here's something else from here. I can only say that there is not a man living who wishes to be more sincerely than I do to see a plan adopted for the abolition of it. The truth is that it was the founding fathers, folks, who were responsible for planting and nurturing the first seeds of the recognition of black equality, not equity, black equality, and for the eventual end of slavery. This was made fact by Richard Allen. Allen had been a slave in Pennsylvania and was freed after he converted his master to Christianity. How come they don't talk about black folks like that? They don't talk about black folks like that. Allen had been a slave in Pennsylvania, but he was freed when he converted his own master to Christianity. He ended up being a close friend to Benjamin Rush and several other founding fathers. He went on to become the founder of AME, Church of America. In the early address, he said to the people of color, this is what he said, many of the white people have been instruments in the hands of God for our good, even such as have been held us in captivity. He said that. How come we don't hear about a lot of these things that amazing black people did? Can you believe that? One of our ancestors, Mr. Allen, he converted his master. Can you imagine how that conversation might have went? All of a sudden, you are a slave and you are actually talking to your master. You're talking to your master about the Almighty God. So can you imagine how this person might have felt, the master? They knew about Christianity. His master knew some shape, form, and fashion of Christianity. But yet he got converted. Folks, that is some major, major powerful stuff that they do not want to let us know about. Because white people all were not evil. They weren't. I told you before what happened in Plymouth Rock. Don't believe the words that I'm telling you guys. Go and research this stuff. It is absolutely amazing. It will amaze you that how a lot of our forefounders, our founding fathers, how they were influenced by a lot of black ministers and preachers. It will amaze you that before they even did the Declaration signing and all that, Constitution and all that, that they were praying and fasting before they even had this done. These people relied on God. But we're not being told that because guess what? God has been taken completely out of the picture in America. And in doing so, right now, what we're facing right now is what we're seeing by us getting rid of God out of our lives.